Hello, and welcome to this new module, first lecture in that on functional and cultural leadership challenges in this course on excellence in leadership. So, the purpose of this module is to help you understand what are the challenges that you may face as a leader in working in different functions, being a functional leader, and working in different cultures or being cross cultural, and how to overcome them. And in this particular lecture, we're going to talk about what are the leadership challenges in different cultures, working cross culturally, and how to overcome these challenges. We'll partly cover that in this lecture. And in the subsequent lectures, we will take up the remaining part of how to overcome the leadership challenges working in different cultures. And then we'll talk about what are the functional leadership challenges and how to overcome them, right? So, what do you think are the leadership challenges working in different cultures, or what are the cross-cultural leadership challenges? The world is becoming smaller and global, and there are situations where, as a leader, you may be working with people of different cultures. So, how do you handle those teams much better than others? So, as a leader, no matter what industry you are, you will face three complex cross-cultural challenges resulting from globalization, global population shift, and global talent mobility. So, businesses are becoming global. People are shifting across continents, across countries, and that the global talent is moving from India to US to UK, etc., etc. And that brings in these three challenges. There are vast differences between employees' cultural expectations. If you have different people from Japan versus a person from US, their expectation from you as a leader would be very, very different. Cross then comes to cross-cultural talent acquisition and talent retention. Now, if you are working with a cross-functional, cross-cultural team, how do you get people across different cultures to come and join you, and how do you make them stay with you? Is another challenge. And third is that if you have junior leaders, or if you have leader, you have the leader of leader, then how do you develop competency and confidence of these professionals as intercultural leaders? So these are the three key challenges. So let's look at what can you do as a leader to handle these challenges. And let's start with the first challenge of the vast differences between employees' cultural expectations. So what can you do as a leader to handle this challenge? Any thoughts? See, as a modern leader, you will face a growing number of cross-cultural experience differences working with customers and employees. So there, what you need, what is called cultural agility. And that is vital because over 60 global society cultures have been identified and numerous variation in regions within the national cultures. It is impossible to be experienced in every situation. So you cannot be dependent on having experienced the culture to handle it, to have known personally, to handle that effectively with your employees. So you need to be culturally agile. Now, cultural differences can be substantial, like definitely a Japanese versus US culture is very different. One individualistic, one team-based, one very gentle, one very aggressive. So these differences can be substantial and can quickly escalate into conflict. If you have people, if you are responding to a Japanese person, even the same US style, that can lead to a conflict and limit your effectiveness as a leader and of your organization. Now, how to handle that is covered by Paula Caliguri in a wonderful document called Cultural Agility, Building a Pipeline of Successful Global Professional. And she provides a lot of great insights into this discussion. And he basically summarized from her work, there are three things that you need to do as a leader. First, understand their culture, the people that you work with. If you have people working from different cultures, or if you are working in a different culture, you need to understand that culture, the culture of their organization, and how it impacts the business. What is it that they like? What is it? How will they interpret what you tell them? And what is the right way to communicate? What words, what gestures, what methods is what you need to understand. So you need to understand each of these cultures. Then you need to recognize and appreciate the differences of other cultures compared to your own, right? And between the two others also. And then use this understanding of cultural differences to effectively conduct business within cross-cultural situation. So if you have a team of people with from different cultures, now you will need to talk differently and you will need to deal with each of them very differently. And that you can only do once you understand, say for example, Japanese and the US culture. So that's how you can handle the cross-cultural differences, and that requires, say, a great amount of cultural agility, being agile to the differences in culture by understanding them and using them to deal effectively with people. So, having looked at how can you deal with the vast differences between your employees or in different cultural situations, what do we do next? So, in the next, we will look at the second challenge of cross-cultural talent acquisition and talent retention. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture of functional and cultural leadership challenges. I hope you're beginning to learn something new, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture.